This is Scarlett from her song Independent Love Song, which is from the movie Bed of Roses. Came out in 99, 98, something like that. Saw it in the movie theater. It was interesting romantic comedy, and not really a comedy. Really, it was like a romantic movie in general. Basic premise is Christian Slater is a guy who runs a rose flower company and delivers roses to, I think it's Mary Stuart Masterson, one day with no name on the card or whatever. So she wants to try to figure out who sent her the roses. Turns out Christian Slater was the one who sent her the roses because he spied her. He walks around at night and looks up at the windows and just wonders what's happening, I guess. Not really kind of stalkery, just sort of contemplative, and up the windows and sees, wonders what people are doing and what's happening in each place, stuff like that. And he saw her in a window lit up crying after answering a phone call, and felt sorry for her and felt she needed a pick-me-up. So he bought the flowers for her since he owns the business and delivered it himself. And then we learn more about him, and as he slowly begins to fall in love with her, but she has her own mental issues, being adopted, being abused, stuff like that, that she has to come to. Nice guy is showing a lot of attention to her, and she doesn't feel like she deserves it. So I think it deserves a rewatch. I haven't watched it in a while, and some of the stuff is hazy to me, but I kind of remember basic parts of the film, and there's some cringeworthy moments in it as well, but it's still a fairly solid romantic film, particularly for Valentine's Day, because, hey, today is February 14th, 2021. It is Valentine's Day. I actually don't know if I've ever done a show on Valentine's Day. I'm probably sure I have. Maybe last year. It's possible. I have to go back and look through my files to see, because last year would have been on Friday, actually. So no, I wouldn't have been. So it's possible. I've been doing this show for close to 7 years, so I think it's possible. But anyway, welcome to Dylan No 389, Cannibal Sex. Appropriate title for this episode on Valentine's Day, obviously. We'll get into the reason why I called it that, but you can pretty much, if you've been following the news over the past week, you can probably figure out why I called it that. Anyway, today's episode, I'm not going to lose my mind about what happened in Washington. I've realized that it's killing me on the inside. After hearing what happened yesterday, my stomach inside were just a mess, and I've just been angry all day yesterday, and I'm just like, I don't need that kind of stuff going on in my mind right now, so I'm going to skip right over that. I'm also going to skip right over the Zack Snyder news, which I'm not even going to mention except just say his name. You can figure it out for yourself, but I have no desire to do that because that also makes me angry too. So this is me for Valentine's Day. I probably should have drank my wine for this one, but I figured it's a Sunday afternoon, may as well just drink that. And the reason why I've been doing it more on Sundays recently is because on the Saturday nights I've been having my issues with the show's been saying that we lost your connection or whatever, and it makes it all pause. And stuff like that. So I'm gonna try to do it, but we will be discussing some things. Mars landers will be landing three Mars landers from 3 countries will be landing this week on Mars. So we'll be getting a influx of Mars information. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. The reason I'm looking around is because my Jinxie kitty, who was on last week's episode, is also down here for today's. What? Ow! Tap my hand. Is it down here for this week's episode? We'll talk about Super Bowl. And what a shit show that was, excuse my language. But there's some interesting stories that happened this week that came out of that shit show of a Super Bowl. We appear to be in a weather pattern that does not seem to be going away anytime soon. So we'll talk about some more weather stuff. WandaVision episode 6 continues the domination of being one of the best shows on television now. Another outstanding episode set during my favorite holiday of Halloween. Get out of there. Get. Whoa, what are you doing? Sorry. Stephen King. An appearance in this week's episode. A new villain for Captain Marvel. Summertime stuff, Valentine's Day stuff, new food, new drink, Gorilla Glue, Silence of the Lambs, some death, lobsters, pirate skeletons, beer factories, 90-year-old man, owls, Your history minute is an interesting one about a baboon. Joss Whedon gets a lot of trouble, as did Gina Carano this week. Remakes, reboots. Post Malone makes an appearance on the show. Pikachu and Eevee Bananas. I'll have to tell you, explain those in a little bit. A dog inherits something, which I'm not going to tell you about in this until a second later. The Moonflower, J.J. Watt, Nintendo and Microsoft, HBO Max news, Tron, Fortnite, Finland, Work Weeks, Sour Patch Kids, what makes a great comic book cover, according to Carmine Infantino. Disney does something that I'm a little angry about. Tom Holland drops something about Spider-Man 3 that might surprise you. MySpace might be making a return. We'll talk about that later. Peeps, since Easter's coming up soon. McDonald's, Pokemon toys. Winona Earp, Maple Butter. What else do I got here? Army Hammer. Rubber Chicken Purses. Something happens to a YouTuber that probably shouldn't have happened, and a Starbucks thing, plus more casting in the Borderlands movie. So we got a good little solid show this week. Actually, let me think about this. It's 1, 2, 3 full pages, 3.5 pages. It's not going to be too long, I don't think. So for those who are watching, thank you for watching. And I hope you are all enjoying your St. Valentine's Day. Let's talk about that real quick. It is Valentine's Day, so we'll still give gifts to each other, and we also give gifts to the kids. I went out and got some of that yesterday. I had gotten my wife's stuff for a while now. Nothing extravagant, nothing like that. So just stuff like that, but nothing, no outlet. And even if, COVID-19 hadn't shut everything down, I don't know if we'd ever actually, do a Valentine's Day date or anything. I don't think we've ever done that. Now, one thing I do remember about Valentine's Day that I always like to reminisce about on the show periodically is I used to work for a radio station, 101.9 Light FM. And a year on Valentine's Day, no matter what day it was, as per tradition, before they shut it down, our radio station used to do the wedding on ice, which basically on Valentine's Day, we would go down to Rash Field, which is down on was at one point an ice rink down at the Inner Harbor. Big field, big ice rink, stuff like that. That was used for people to skate during the winter, and then I think during the summer it was turned into beach volleyball courts. Now it's just straight up beach volleyball courts, I think, and the ice skating rink has been moved closer to Harbor Place. Rash Field is way across the way near Federal Hill, actually, which is, if you've ever been to Baltimore, is Inner Harbor. You have the two main buildings, the National Aquarium's over there, Hard Rock and all that stuff is over there, and then you have to walk a little bit of ways to get down to the Science Center, and then Rash Field is right next to the Science Center, and then right behind Rash Field is Federal Hill. So that's how it's sort of set up. So it's a bit of a hike. So they moved the ice rink from Rash Field to a smaller area between the two Harbor Place buildings. But we used to do the wedding on ice where people could sign up via different events we did during the month of February or into January, or mail-in requests or whatever. And they could renew their renew their vows, or get married for real on the ice rink. You have to be on the ice rink. You have to have ice skates, and you have to be on the ice rinks. We do have a justice of the peace we do have a justice of the peace there who can sign a wedding, the wedding agreement, whatever they're called, wedding agreement. I can't remember what they're called, but the wedding license, I guess, the proper thing that proves that you've been, married, and it's official when they sign off on it, because weddings don't need to be the big extravagant church wedding type of thing. So I basically need someone to sign off on your wedding license and you're done. That's why so many people go down to City Hall just to get married, not have a big extravagant wedding, and that's their prerogative. I mean, it's also their prerogative to have a big glamorous wedding. My wedding wasn't glamorous, but it was fantastic. I loved it, not just because it was my wedding, but because my wife and I decided we wanted to have it turn into a big party, and we succeeded in that end. So we had the Justice of Peace down there, and then we had a priest who was sort of like an all-denominational type of thing, didn't really settle on one denomination and just did, flowery words, stuff like that. But so you could actually have like a priest there as well. We had giant wedding cake, we had champagne, and it was February 14th, so it was chilly and cold, and we had heated tents, and I think we were given away, and then you could put your name in. You were automatically put into a drawing to win a massive wedding prize or something like that. I forget what it was that we used to do for them. We would draw that at the end. Stuff like this, you can invite friends and family if you wanted to, but you had to be on the ice to actually get married. We had members of our staff that knew how to ice skate, had to go around to make sure everything was fine. As security, I didn't know how to skate, so I stayed inside the tents and was, organizing stuff and getting the music playing. We had the first skate, which is the first dance, as a wedded couple and stuff like that, and renewing vows. It was just a really fun time. So memories of Valentine's Day past. So kind of fun like that. Anyway, so that's Valentine's Day. Hard to believe that last Sunday, 1 week ago, 7 days ago, was the Super Bowl. It seems like it's been so long ago to me anyway. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it might have something to do with that. This week was my first day back at work after my 14 days of quarantine due to COVID outbreak at my work. But again, for those who haven't watched, I tested negative but was symptomatic. So they told me I should probably stay away for 14 days to see if I get the virus, since it takes 14 days for it to mature. And it didn't. So I went back to work this week and worked the full week. And, of course, getting back into swing things, work full week next week, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So back to work there. So it seems like so long ago that the Super Bowl happened to me. It just seemed like it was weeks ago, not just last Sunday. But it was Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. I declared on last week's episode that I believe the Kansas City Chiefs were going to win a close one. Boy, was I way off. Tampa Bay came to play. Kansas City did not. Tom Brady wanted to prove something, I suppose. And there we go. My connection was stable there for a second. Hopefully it won't last. There we go. That cements Tom Brady as the greatest of all time. I despise the man, the human being, personally. But he came to play, and he rocked the Kansas City Chiefs 33-9. The Chiefs scored 3 field goals. Their offense was not doing a damn thing. The defense was doing nothing. The offensive line was getting wrecked because Mahomes was constantly under pressure and was not able to play the game that he's used to playing. And he also had a bad game. He threw badly. He missed connections. They ran away from the run game for a little bit. It was just a utter disaster. And it was one of the first ever Super Bowls where after halftime, it was already decided the game was over. And so I shut it off. I didn't even watch it again. Granted, you shouldn't do that because of what happened with the Falcons and Patriots a few years ago, the 28-3 game. But that turned out differently. That was a little bit different. This was just a complete disaster. I knew that Kansas City was not going to come back. Oh, come on. Don't tell me I have to redo this again. Of course, it's going to be this way. Your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Are you freaking kidding me? I mean, this pisses me off to no end. And it's saying solid, so it means I'm probably going to have to shut down. Damn it. How is this happening? It usually is not supposed to happen like this. I have 3 people watching. Am I coming in clear? Am I okay? I mean, the clock's still going down. I can't tell if I'm just going to drop out. Damn it. Oh, well.